So what else are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about some common problems, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head, what's that other thing we're supposed to talk about today? Oh, how to maximize distance, right? How to maximize distance. Let's bring up the numbers again, and I will talk to you about that. Maximizing distance. If you want to maximize distance with your 3-wood, there's a few things that you have to do. Number one, you want to make sure that the launch angle, right? Your vertical launch, which is, here, let me turn this off again so you can see the screen a whole lot better. Your vertical launch, which is going to be this one right here, this category right here. It's telling me we're averaging roughly 12.5 degrees of vertical launch. All right, so that's a good number. If you couple that 12.5 degrees with a spin rate, the slightly lower spin rate, saying the high 2s, low 3s, so maybe like 2,900 to 3,100. Okay, so 12.5 degree launch and 29 to 32 or 3,100 RPMs of spin, and you get a smash factor. Your smash factor, which is this one right here, which is how solid, essentially how solid you're hitting the ball. You know, as close to 1.5 as you can get. If you can maximize that, you're going to get the most out of your 3-wood. Okay? So, optimal launch, slightly lower spin rates than I'm getting right now, and smash factor. So that means you're hitting the ball center of the face, right? Contacts are not all over the place. You're hitting it to the center. Okay? So if you're doing those things, if you're executing those things correctly, that's how you're going to maximize your distance. And you're going to be getting quality distance, not distance and a ton of roll. You're carrying the golf ball a long ways, and it's going to roll out an appropriate amount. Quality distance. If you maximize those things, I could probably, that last one I went 258 yards, I could probably get 11 or 12 more yards out of that shot if those numbers were more maximized. You, on the other hand, could get 25 or 30 more yards. Just depends on where you're at in your game, right? But making sure that you can hit the right numbers means that you can get the most out of these clubs. Now, mind you, this is not the newest, greatest, awesomest 3-wood head in the world. This 3-wood head's awesome. These models by TaylorMade, the SLDR models, were outstanding models, okay? Outstanding models. And this is their 3 high launch model, okay? Right? It's a 3 high launch, which means it's 17 degrees. Got that? 17 degrees. And I have this turned down. This is one of the 1.5 degree max tips. So it's turned down 1.5 degrees, so it's 15.5 with a slightly open club face. Again, I like to have the club face open in a dress. Helps me see that this looks better to me, and so that's how I have it set up. All right, and so anyways, this is an older head. The newer heads, the even the M1s, the M3s, they're obviously going to be a hotter head than this. Again, I just got this shaft not that long ago, and I had this shaft of the head upstairs in my attic, so I just went ahead and threw it in here just to try and get something to play with until TaylorMade releases the new 2019 model drivers and 3-woods and hybrids and stuff like that. So patiently waiting for those to come out because hopefully I can get something that's the same head size, similar similar shape to this. It's a little bit hotter head to help me get some slightly better numbers. Again, there's not a huge amount of distance I'm going to be able to pick up, but if I can get something that goes a little bit straighter, flies a little bit farther, I'd be all about that. So again, that's the things you need to do to pick up more distance. And if you do those things, you don't have to swing super fast, right? If you look at my swing, swing speed totals, right? Look at my swing speed totals. 102 to 104 miles an hour, average of 103.5, right? 103.5 mile an hour club head speed average with a 3-wood. That is not super fast. That's a couple of miles an hour slower than the average swing speed of a 3-wood on the PGA Tour. However, that 250-yard average is pretty close to where they average it. It actually might be a little bit farther than what the average is on the PGA Tour with a 3-wood. So, I get the most out of my golf ball. And the information I'm giving you today also helps you get the most out of your golf ball.